So far we talked about two states of an object and two types of forces, and we also have come to a conclusion that we need an external unbalanced force to bring about change of state in an object. So that was what Newton did. He actually put all those things together in the form of a law. So Newton said that an object at rest, which is static equilibrium, right, and an object moving with uniform speed in a straight line, that is kinetic equilibrium or dynamic equilibrium. So an object at rest or object moving with uniform velocity does not change its state, unless an external, because internal forces are always balanced, so external force may be or may not be balanced. That's why he said an external unbalanced force acts on the object. So Newton said this, and this is famously called first law of motion or Newton's first law of motion. What is first law of motion? The first law of motion is acknowledging this fact. First law of motion says that an object at rest or object moving with uniform velocity does not change its state until an external unbalanced force acts on it. So if, let us look at this statement in the reverse direction. If an external unbalanced force acts on it, if an external unbalanced force acts on an object, what are possible things? Object will not be at rest. If an object is already at rest, if an external unbalanced force acts on it, objects will not be at rest. It will start moving. So it will start moving. So what this external unbalanced force can do? It can initiate motion in the object. And at the same time, an object will be in dynamic equilibrium. Dynamic equilibrium means it goes in a straight line with the same speed or uniform velocity, we say. So if an external unbalanced force acts on it, the object may not go with the same speed because this external unbalanced force will try to change it. So it may not go with the same speed. If the object is already coming with some speed, if the force acts, the speed slowly decreases to 0. Then the speed changing and finally coming to 0. So just like force can start the object to move, the force can also stop the object from moving. So it can terminate motion in an object. It can initiate or terminate motion, and it can also change the speed. Changing the speed means it can also increase or decrease the speed. So increasing the speed from 0 is making the object to move. Decreasing the speed to 0 is bringing the object to rest. So the change in speed literally means that. Change in speed means if an external unbalanced force acts on the object, it may increase the speed or it may decrease the speed. So at the same time, the dynamic equilibrium means it is a constant speed in a straight line. So it might also change the direction. So what this external unbalanced force can do? It might initiate motion in the object, it might terminate motion, it might increase or decrease the speed, or it might change the direction. So what is Newton's first law? The first law of motion says that an object at rest, that is static equilibrium, or an object moving with constant velocity, that's dynamic equilibrium, will do so or will continue to do so until an external unbalanced force acts on it. That means if an external unbalanced force acts on it, an object at rest may start moving. An object in motion may come to rest, or its speed might increase or it might decrease, or its direction may change. These are things the force is capable of doing. So this first law of motion is called the qualitative definition of force. That means it explains what force can do.